I think thinking about becoming an adult, and having to face up to your problems and face up to your insecurities, is difficult for everybody. You have to believe that it is what you want to do with your life and you have to be dedicated to it. If you let too many cooks in the kitchen, it could cloud your vision of what you want to do. For any addict, when you get sober, life becomes more challenging, in some ways, because all of your problems become very clear and you have to deal with your pain. You can't just drink and forget about it and pretend it doesn't exist. You have to actually face it, head on. I was that overachieving, annoying kid who was always trying to win some contest or win the role. I look back on it now and I'm like, chill, man. Calm down. So, they have the same vibe of like that fun kind of spirit, but this one's a lot more serious. It's like, get it done right, you know. It's got to be perfect. We definitely do lots of takes on this. I grew up in a big movie house, we watched movies all the time, so I had an awareness at a very young age that that was a job that you could have. Any addict in recovery would say that life never becomes perfect. Your life is better, but that doesn't mean it's easier. Life, at least for a certain period of time, becomes harder and you have to work through that to get to the light at the end of the tunnel. I have a lot of different traits to my personality, depending on who I'm around, and what the dynamic in the situation is. Anytime I'm given scripts where I'm sort of the fantasy girl, it's hard for me because that's not real and I don't think it's a great thing to put out there consistently. Obviously, we're all going to die at some point. Whether or not we are fated to die in some way I think is debatable. I just don't know which side to debate. I found my way into the indie world a bit late in my career, but it was something that I was really passionate about doing. Sometimes, with directors, you have to take what they say and translate it in your head into something that makes sense to you, because you're speaking two different languages. I don't have any premonitions. I don't have any supernatural powers. I just have a typical woman's intuition, and I go with that. I realized that the people weren't just characters but they were people and they were getting to do something that was so fun and I wanted to be a part of it. There are obviously people who want to be very niche, but I think for the most part everybody is trying to reach a larger audience. I always felt that my talent would trump everything. Particularly for women, I think more of us in the industry need to just do it. I think guys are more willing to put themselves out that way, at least with the girls that I know. We say we want to direct, but then we don't actually do it. I always wanted to perform in some capacity since I was a kid. I was a ballerina, then a singer before acting. I love playing characters that are strong, when there's physicality involved. Some of those things come out and you don't know where they came from, somebody's leaking totally false information. They follow you for years and you have to be like, I don't know anything about that. I think a lot of fans immediately go, UGGGH. When they hear that someone is doing a prequel or a remake, they sort of assume the worst sometimes. It's just about trying to find material where I'm doing more than just being a plot device. I want to actually get to do scenes that go to interesting places and are challenging to me. But as an actor you do want to challenge yourself and step outside what you have done in the past, and that's what I like to do. I like to jump around and try different things and stretch myself. I think, like a lot of actors and people in the arts who are struggling to get where they want to be, you spend a lot of time sitting around grumbling about how you're not doing the kind of work you really want to do. But there's a lot of complacency in that, too. I love anybody who's willing to stick to their own vision, their own voice, who's not easily swayed by money or by financiers who are going to tell them what they should do. I was kind of embarrassed by some of the films I had done. I was like, oh, they're going to think I don't have street cred. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was born on November 28, 1984, in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, to Betty Lou Knight and James Ronald Winstead, and is the youngest of 5 children. Her grandfather, Ambler William Winstead, was a cousin of actress Ava Gardner. When she was 5 years old, her family moved to Sandy, Utah, where she attended Peruvian Park Elementary and took advanced classes. She studied dance in a Joffrey Ballet summer program in Chicago and sang in the International Children's Choir. As she entered her teens, she was forced to quit ballet due to her height. Realizing a dance career was unlikely, she turned to acting. As she was still a teenager at the time, this required her to be homeschooled through most of high school. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is an American actress and singer. Her first significant role was that of Jessica Bennett on the NBC soap opera Passions 1999-2000. She went on to appear in series such as True Calling 2004 and films including the superhero film Sky High 2005. She came to wider attention for her roles in the horror series Wolf Lake 2001-2002, the giant monster film Monster Island 2004, the supernatural horror film Final Destination 3 2006, the slasher film Black Christmas 2006, and the exploitation horror film Death Proof 2007. Further success came with her roles as John McClane's daughter Lucy Gennaro McClane in Live Free or Die Hard 2007, and Ramona Flowers in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World 2010. Her critically acclaimed performance as an alcoholic struggling with sobriety in the Sundance drama Smashed 2012 was followed by a series of roles in other well-received independent films, including The Beauty Inside 2012, The Spectacular Now 2013, Faults 2014, Alex of Venice 2014, and Swiss Army Man 2016. Winstead continued her scream queen roles in the sci-fi horror film The Thing 2011, as Mary Todd Lincoln in the fantasy horror film Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter 2012, and in the psychological horror thriller film 10 Cloverfield Lane 2016. She reprised her role as Lucy Gennaro McClane in A Good Day to Die Hard 2013, and returned to television with roles in the supernatural drama series The Returned 2015, the political satire science fiction comedy series Braindead 2016. the period medical drama series Mercy Street 2016-17, and the black comedy crime drama anthology series Fargo 2017. Her other roles include the comedy drama All About Nina 2018, the action thriller film Gemini Man 2019, and is the Huntress in Birds of Prey 2020. Since 2013, WINSTEAD has performed as music duo Got a Girl with Dan the Automator.